Hi guys, I hope you are all well, or at least as well as you could be in today's current climate. Now before we get into today's podcast, I said I'd make a little public service announcement because obviously what's been happening over in the US over the last couple of weeks has just been absolutely devastating, and me and Jack didn't talk about it in this podcast, and it's kind of been eating me up ever since because I suppose at the time we kind of felt like we were in no real position to talk about it, but not talking about this stuff is part of the problem. You know, we need to be, it's not exactly enough to just be not racist. We have to be, we have to go out of our way and be actively anti-racist, if that makes sense. So I've put a link in the description to the Black Lives Matter cause. There's a lot of resources there. First line of the description, click the link, it'll bring you there. Lots of resources there, including donation links, petitions, and generally just a lot of other sources that you can use to educate yourself, get the word out there. We're all human, we are all the same, and we all deserve to be treated the exact same way, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from. Together we are stronger. Now, we should just state before we start here today, ladies and gentlemen, that these are not our opinions. These are allegedly, possibly, maybe.
That is in the royal family. They were part of that. They were the empire. That's what they did.
And basically said, if you believe in any sort of advancement in technology, almost certain, 98% certain, that we are currently a simulation.
Oh, and if these documents, people say, if it comes online, you can't delete it forever. So there is stuff.
There is a version of it somewhere.
Exactly. If you want to look for it, it's there.
You don't know who's real and who's not.
Oh, that's fucked. Oh my god, that is mad.
Alright, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of ShiteTalk. It's not over Skype. It's
we've done it.
we're back. We're actually back in the studio. It's good to be back, isn't it?
It does. It feels more natural, I have to say. Doing it on Skype is fine, but
it got us through, didn't it?
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You missed the crack. You missed the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah, we're still obviously keeping the 2 meters. Still,
social distancing and that.
Today's June 8th, so lockdown restrictions have been lifted. Not fully today, but you can go anywhere in your county now, isn't it? And you can have up to 6 people in your house or something like that. Yeah. So it's clear that things are obviously
on the up,
getting better,
which is good.
Now, obviously, that's in this regard. The world in general has been fucked recently.
2020's been interesting.
We actually said in the last episode, didn't we, that 2020 was like a movie, as if it wasn't before.
Oh, it was. It's literally do you know that film 2012?
Yeah.
It's like that, but every month is something different.
Yeah.
It's been. I think I saw something literally every month has had something insane happen in it.
Yeah, it's you wonder what's gonna fucking happen next. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I feel like if we get through this year, we need at least 4 or 5 years of just absolute
nothing happening.
Clarity. There can't be anything else happening to us during this time, because
it's been rough, hasn't it?
We've been through a lot in this time.
And we're saying it's rough. We're living in one of the fucking quietest places in the world, I would say, where we are in Ireland.
We to be fair, looking at it, very little has actually happened. In retrospect.
Yeah.
In Ireland.
Yeah.
Versus when you look at say everywhere else and everything else that's going across the pond.
Yeah, around imagine being a US citizen right now. Even the average citizen. What? How do you fucking live your life with that shit going on?
I don't know. It's crazy. It's like you say. It's like a movie. It doesn't actually seem real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It is. It's
a lot of people have compared it to The Purge and that, especially with all the looting and stuff going on at the minute.
Yeah, man. Actually, that's true. Jesus Christ.
It's really it's something else. It really is. But a lot. Obviously, we said this episode is going to be conspiracy theories.
Yes.
And a lot has come out in recent times. So I think it was quite convenient that we said in the last episode that, the next episode will be conspiracy theories because, Anonymous have come out of the woodwork after 3 years or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. It's been a while.
And have come out with some mad things.
Have you seen their YouTube page?
No.
Look, just if you can, if you ever have a moment, just go onto the YouTube. Very interesting stuff up there. There's a lot of what I say. I don't know if you call them conspiracy theories, but there is like one or two videos, and they're like
are they like leaking stuff like they are on Twitter?
kind of, yeah. And it's like how would you describe it? It's almost like a bit of a documentary almost. They've put out on
Anonymous official, 3.21 million subscribers.
Pretty sure that's them. And then like
most people have no idea what's coming.
yeah, see that's the kind of thing. They released like 4 or 5 or 6 videos titled along that kind of line.
They don't want you to hear this.
Yeah.
Most people have no idea what's happening. Jeez, I'm gonna be watching all these later on.
It is very I watched 1 or 2, and they are interesting. They're very interesting. I feel a little bit outrageous.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Some of the stuff definitely, probably will upset people. But if it's the truth and we're taking it for what it is, it's interesting. But whether we take it as factual, confirmed, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting to see. It's interesting theories in there.
Yeah.
But they're definitely
they're well and truly back, aren't they?
they have come back, and they've come back in force.
Right, so we've got a couple of theories to talk about today, and I'm going to throw a couple of names out there straight away.
Okay.
For you lot watching, we're talking Princess Diana today. We're talking simulation theory.
Bap.
We're talking Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein doing some dodgy shit.
Skiddly D.
We're talking aliens. We're
Don't know.
talking Madeleine McCann.
Oof.
So there's quite a wide range.
Oh boy!
It's gonna get mad. It's gonna get mad.
It's gonna be interesting.
Now we should just state before we start here today, ladies and gentlemen, that these are not our opinions. These are allegedly, possibly, maybe. They are called conspiracy theories for a reason. We're not saying any of this is fact. We're just saying they're interesting topics to discuss, and we want to discuss them on the podcast. So
We want to underline that point.
take everything we say in this pod with a huge pinch of salt.
Especially me.
Me also. And we hope you enjoy. So, where will we start then? I think I've got Princess Diana up first.
Oh dear.
So we'll talk about, obviously, Anonymous have come out, as we said, over the last couple of weeks, and that's not going to sound nice. Basically, have said something along the lines of that there was this geezer who pretty much confirmed that Princess Diana was murdered.
Yeah.
By the royal family. I'll say what I have here. I got this off some website. The hacktivist group Anonymous, earth-shattering revelation has left citizens stunned. The group claims that the princess was aware of human trafficking that took place at the royal palace, and even had the testimony of a victim. The tweet read, "Around the time of her death, Diana was visiting hospitals and care homes. Jimmy Savile was preying on at all hours of the night, consoled Elm guest house victims, and recorded palace rape victim testimony." It further shared articles and documents which claimed that Princess Diana was murdered by the royal family on August 31st, 1997, and the deadly car accident was staged.
Wow.
And there was a fella, I don't know if you watch, his name's Duty. He's on Happy Hour podcast with Jack May. I don't know if you watch that, but his name's Jordan. He basically came out with a video recently saying that there was a guy who was on his deathbed, basically.
Right.
And he said that he was involved, like he was pretty much the hitman for the whole thing. I don't know how real that is. I don't know what the geezer's name was. It's dodgy. There's talks of like Jimmy Savile in there as well.
Yeah,
like, it's really dodge.
It's where do you even start with that? That is.
There's a lot in there, isn't there?
I feel like for people to, like, obviously for Anonymous to come out and say all this, probably hit hard. Like, I feel like obviously there was people who were saying that, and there's people who believe it. But imagine if you were like a royal family supporter, and you just heard all this, like the thing that because there are people like that. There are people who follow the royal family
Absolutely,
and like, are mad into that kind of thing. But you just heard that, and now surely your perspective has got to change on that. I mean,
yeah, I think that I don't have the documents here, and nor would I fucking read them out if I did have them.
No,
because,
I feel like them documents are very.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same with the Trump and Epstein. Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't,
yeah,
I
yeah.
really wouldn't. But, yeah, like, they've obviously leaked these documents. I don't know, like, how much do you want to trust Anonymous? Like, they have a pretty good track record, I believe.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's one of those things as well. Like, it's a document. You said it was a document, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah,
so I suppose, like, obviously, there's obviously been stuff leaked, and again, like you say, whether we take this as like factual again or not is just
yeah,
we can't really until it's more confirmed. But it's definitely fuel to a very bad fire.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah. I get you. Yeah, but like, even what's been happening recently with the royal family, with like Harry.
Oh
And
yes.
all the shit that was going on with him recently, he was all like, "Oh," and he basically he wanted out, boys and girls, if you didn't know. Doesn't want to be
Part of
a
that.
part of it at all. Obviously, he says I think the quote was something like, if you knew the stuff that I know,
You wouldn't want it.
you'd want. He wants to protect, obviously, his wife.
Mm.
Oh, I don't know, like
It says a lot, doesn't it? Like, I mean, yeah, it really says, Jesus Christ, it says a lot.
that was only recently, like that was not like
So, do you think that there was some sort of evidence that, like the royal family were going to, I don't know, maybe there was something that came out, or maybe there was some sort of discussion,
Yeah,
and then
well-
that's how this information got leaked,
yeah.
and that's obviously why.
I don't know. I mean, it was obviously a case that if this is legit, that she like, I don't know, knew too much, like Harry does.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And she was obviously threatening to leak this to the press, and I don't know. It's really fucking dodgy, mate. And like with all the stuff about like the Jimmy Savile and stuff, like she
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
known there was some
that's-
sort of connections going on, the trafficking.
That's mad,
Like,
man.
Do you know what I mean? Like the royal family can really get away with most things. Like,
yeah,
you
well,
know,
that's the thing. Like, they're in such a power position. Like, you are literally.
you're talking the height of society.
Oh, yeah. And like there is very, very few people who can have any influence on you. Like, imagine, like, you're talking money on top of money on top of money. Like, you can sweep whatever you want away. Well, to a point as this information comes out, but like, I don't know, man. Like, it's crazy, and I feel like in the time it's come out as well, I feel like, I don't know, mate.
Yeah, like it'd make you question though what kind of consequences come out of this now,
But
if any. Like
this
as you
is
were
the
saying,
thing,
like
like-
they're in such a high position. Like if a group of hacktivists come out and like leak this information, it's kind of like, so what? What happens? Like, is there gonna be? Are they gonna overthrow the monarchy? Probably not.
No, realistically, like, let's just be obvious. Like, they're not just going to decide, all right, fuck them. Like, now we're getting rid of them.
Like, is there gonna be fucking riots over in the UK because of this? Like,
I don't
know.
Did you see? I don't know, but there was, well, I wouldn't say riots, but there's protests, and then yesterday or the day before they started like pulling down statue of some slave trader.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they dropped him in the water. Like, is that going to be like now with this on top of what's going on elsewhere? Just going to fuse together to kind of make a bit of
A lot of people believe we're about to see a really big shift in society, but
Yeah, I feel it's
I don't know.
it's on the cards.
Yeah,
in
it's
that kind of way.
it's certainly on the cards, but
Yeah.
it's with all this information coming out now, they just want people to, I suppose, open their eyes to it. And again, it's not. I don't know if it's fact. It's just a theory. It's just what Anonymous have come out with. Like, you can take Anonymous, whatever they say, with a pinch of salt. I feel like, obviously we've heard that down the years they've had some really, big busts and really, they've come out and uncovered stuff that people thought was never going to be uncovered. But I just don't know if I can take everything they say as fact. But it's definitely food for thought, and it's definitely,
It's raised an eyebrow anyway.
yeah, definitely. But that one is definitely dodgy, and I would say believable. Definitely.
I think so as well. I think when you look at and again, this might, but just, but let's just say, right, I'll put this in obviously if it wants to come out, but like, the royal family, obviously, back in the day, like the colonies and all that kind of stuff, like slave trade and all that kind of stuff. Like that is in the royal family. They were part of that. They were the empire. They that's what they did, and it's not like totally unbelievable to say like, okay, well, this also happened as well. Because if you think about it, if that's the kind of stuff like you're doing down the years, like who's to say that
it's not still going on?
Yeah, like so slavery's abolished, right? So what do we do now?
Yeah,
they move into it, but again.
Yeah, I did hear someone say, I think it was on the Happy Hour podcast, so the Queen can just go out and kill someone and get away with it.
There's literally, like you say, who's going to stop her?
The fucking British police aren't going to, like, she's going to have the Metropolitan Police on her fucking dial. Like, sorry, love, you're after going out and killing someone there.
It's like,
that's not allowed.
Please don't do that again. Like, what, like, it's well, like, there's MI5, all that kind of high agency stuff, like, they can't even do anything, like, they literally, like,
yeah, I don't know. It
just makes you think like how
do people get that powerful?
And then as well, like how much of that kind of government is, corrupt.
Yeah.
Do you know, like if you're like obviously like you say, the Queen has money, and like you could be on the Queen's payroll, you could be on, well, I suppose pretty much everyone really could be on the Queen's payroll if she wanted. But you just wonder, obviously, how much throughout the years has been swept away, or like it makes you think, what don't we actually know?
Yeah.
Like if this is the stuff that is coming out, what else is hidden? Like hidden.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, and I think as time goes on, more and more of that stuff will start to be dug up. But I think this is definitely a theory that people have believed for a long time and have just lacked the evidence to back their argument up. But now they have a form of evidence. They have something. They have a lead, and they have. I can't remember the geezer's name. I should have probably found out what his name was. But the fellow that was on his deathbed basically saying, "Yeah, I never. There was never any like feelings involved in my job. I just went out, did my job, got paid. But he says he didn't. He says he killed. He says he did it. Like he says he did it. But he could just be someone looking for attention. I don't know. But the thing is, we don't know.
This is the thing. We have to take everything. Like as much as like people say like, oh, but it's anonymous. Like, oh, it's they've done good things before. It's kind of like, so what?
Yeah.
We can't, unless there is a solid, confirmation from say like higher ups, to say like someone from the royal family leaks and says or breaks. It's like, yeah, we did this.
Yeah.
It was.
But that's the thing. Like Harry kind of alluded to it in that interview recently. But he
has to watch what he says. Like.
He's trying to protect his family as well. Like, and he's trying to protect himself. So there's only so much he can say without being fucked.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you think about it, that would be treated as surely treason.
Yeah,
or some form or some crime against the
he would be binned off and nothing would happen.
Oh, that's it, and he wouldn't even know. Like, he would be binned off. And he wouldn't even realise he had fucked up.
Yeah.
Like, he could literally say something today. And I'd say before he even finishes his announcement, he'll be binned off.
I think even what he did say already is...
cause for bin off.
Yeah, it's a cause from that possibly, if you knew what I knew, you would get away too, is what he said.
If I knew what he knew, and I had decided I'm going to try and get away from it, I would fuck off to some island in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And just have 24-hour watching, like.
Yeah.
Because if anyone, like you say, it's one of those things where, like, obviously Princess Diana knew too much, and she was binned off.
Yeah.
So who's to say?
Like, what else does Harry know? Obviously, there's this stuff with Andrew that came out recently as well. Do you know what I mean? So what does he know? What else does he know? Does he know that they killed fucking Diana as well? Like, do you know what I mean? There's so much. Like, could be so much that he knows.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, do the royal family trust him to keep his mouth shut on all this?
Probably not.
That's the question.
It's really.
Oh boy!
It makes you think though. You'd never want to be that big in society, would you? You'd never want to have that much attention on you.
Yeah, I feel like obviously people were us humans were always trying to expand our knowledge and know more, but I feel like sometimes knowing too much is a disease.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where you're like if say Harry knows much, like say he knows, like surely that's playing on your mind 24/7. That's your family.
Yeah.
That is involved with this.
Yeah.
And how, like, even you say, like, okay, he separates himself for, but how do you, like, you know, emotionally separate yourself from that?
Yeah, as I said, yeah, it's. Can you even separate yourself from that? Because
that's your family.
No matter how long Harry goes on living or whatever, or how far he goes away from the royal family, they know that he still knows everything.
Yeah.
Every dirty secret, everything that's been swept under the carpet, he knows it.
That's it.
He will always know it, as well.
And the thing is, like, no matter how much he tries to get away with it, like,
it's always there.
Yeah, it's his blood. He's the same blood as them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He was brought up in that house.
Yeah.
He knows. He obviously knows. There's no way he doesn't know something. Like, you can't, like you say, you can't be at that level of power and not know what everyone else knows. Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
Do you know what, I might just put your reaction in there and just leave the rest of it out.
My god.
That's another theory.
That is mad. That is mad.
But is it completely unbelievable?
No, do you know what, mate? And having actually, like, the more you think about it, like, and you think the people that associate themselves with them, it's there, like, and it's, you think to yourself, like, do you know, again, like you say, everything you said, it's not totally, like,
it's not completely wrong. Like,
you could definitely see an element of that.
Yeah.
Involved.
Absolutely.
But that was mad.
Yeah. I think I'll just leave your reaction in and then what left after that.
Oh my god, mate, if that's true, like you said, that is fully believable.
It just is, like.
God.
Right, I think we need to move on.
Yeah.
I think we need to move on. I'm going to check what the cameras are on. Right, so we're going to move on to something a little bit more fun, because that was horrible.
Heavy.
It was horrible. We're going to get into more heavy and shit stuff before the end of the fucking podcast. But we're going to bring it to a bit of a more lighter note, and we're going to be talking a little bit now about simulation theory. I mean, it's still dark and it's still fucked, but it's a little bit less dark than what we were just talking about.
We're not talking about
nonsense and that.
That's the word.
So, basically, I'll read out what I have typed here. It's basically explaining what simulation theory is for anyone who doesn't know. Basically, Elon Musk is one of, like, the main fellas who think this is, like, fully legit. But he's a mad cunt anyway.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say, like, all the people, like, it's surely going to be Elon.
Yeah. So, a modern hypothesis with ancient roots. Posits? Is that actually a word? Posits? That we're actually living in an advanced digital construct, such as a computer simulation, that's overseen by some higher form of intelligence. From a purely empirical standpoint, the answer seems obvious. Reality is anything we can perceive using one or more of the five senses: taste, smell, touch, hearing, and sight. But some outside-the-box thinkers, including philosophers and physicists, contend that's not necessarily the case. It is possible, they theorize, that reality is merely an ultra-high-tech computer simulation in which we sim-live, sim-work, sim-laugh, and sim-love. So all of this is like the Matrix, basically. You've seen the Matrix, I presume, yeah. Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Fuck, man. Okay. What's your take on it?
It seems really dumb.
Yeah.
It seems really dumb. And if you listen to what, but then you listen to Elon Musk, and I'm not saying Elon Musk is the most reliable source of information. He's a bit of a nutcase, but he is
a little bit.
He's a very intelligent man.
For what he is.
Yes.
He is very intelligent.
He's had a few fuck ups in his time.
He has done that.
But he says, basically the way he put it is, how far has technology come in the last 10, 15, 20 years? Fucking leaps and bounds, mate.
Yeah.
We've come from... Take video games, for example, yeah?
That's true, actually.
We've gone from, like...
Pixels.
Like Pong. You know, you remember Pong? I'm acting like we're fucking 90s kids. Well,
Pong.
Actually, you are a 90s kid.
I am a 90s kid.
Just about, yeah.
I don't know. Big up.
I was thinking, yeah. But anyway, yeah. We've gone from Pong to now having, like...
VR.
VR, yeah, like photorealistic fucking games where you play a person with this fucking headset on and you look around, you see the environment around you.
We create a world, basically.
Yes,
like,
essentially. And basically said if you believe in any sort of advancement in technology, not even talking 10, 20, 30 years, talk 50, 100 years into the future. He says if you believe in any sort of advancement in society and technology, then he said it's almost certain, 98% certain,
Jeez.
that we are currently a simulation being played by someone upstairs.
Wow. Oh, wow.
And that when you die, it's just game over and someone moves on to someone else. It's like that episode of Rick and Morty, isn't it? Where
I know which one you're talking about. So I can't think of the name. It's
well,
the one with is it the headset?
Yeah, he falls off a fucking ladder and dies and just moves on to someone else. What if that's reality?
So does that? Are you saying, right? Let's just. I'm going to chuck this out there. So are you saying that what I am now isn't real, but I am someone actually, like my, let's say, conscience and my mind is
being controlled by someone else.
Yes, and are we saying that this is hard to explain, but like the person playing me is me, but not me. So what I mean by that,
it could be a future ancestor.
Exactly, this is what I mean. So am I saying that like if we're saying simulation theory, I am a sim, that I actually am real, but I've just transferred everything. Like what I look like now is not me.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying.
Essentially, yeah.
And then like my conscience and all that stuff has been transferred into this.
Right.
Or any of those things.
Man's head to give her a thumbs up when you want food.
Hallelujah. Yeah, that's heavy.
It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. If I could draw a picture, I would draw a picture. But I won't draw a picture because I can't draw people. I can draw stickmen. Oh, it could work, but let's just say that this is me. This is the same. This is the same. And essentially they're the same person, but not the... I've made a shit of this. I
know what you mean, though.
Exactly.
I know what you mean.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
So, how like, listening to the way Elon put it, though, it's like, yeah, that kind of seems right.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's like essentially like, so say you play VR. Let's just take it back to the video game side of thing. You play VR, you put the headset on. That person in the game is you, but it's not you.
Yeah.
And that comes up.
What if that's reality?
But that's what I mean, mate. Like that's what I mean. Like I'm saying, like you play a character that is created, but it's not you.
Yeah, I know. It's really, it is really heavy.
So my question is then, when we obviously, like you said, when we die, like say we die in this sim. I don't know why I air quotes I did that, but anyway, we die in this sim. Are we saying that that's it? Like
lights out.
Yeah, or are we saying that it's more of a case of lights out, take it off,
move on to someone else?
Yeah.
But what if? I think the way this theory is, I think the point it's trying to get across is that your life is just being played by someone else.
See that side of it.
And then when you die, it's lights out for you. So that person moves on to someone else. Mad. So everything you do, coming over here today to record this podcast, the person upstairs went, right, I'm going to Kelly's to record a podcast today. They went, right, okay, great. Any emotions you feel when you find something funny, right? I'm going to laugh at this. Laugh switch on. Do you know what I mean? Like that's basically... Everything you do is controlled by the person upstairs.
Jeez, okay.
I think that's basically what it's really fucked. I don't know if I believe in it. I really don't. But the fact that he said that there's only about 2% chance that we're real. I don't know where he's pulling these stats from.
Yeah, what was the stat he said again? So like, if technology advances,
if you believe in any sort of technological and society advancements in the coming years. Basically, if you believe in them advancements at all, there's a 98% chance that we are a simulation. That everything here is not real.
Do you know what's mad? I was literally going to say that. So how do you explain pain? And I was literally about to clap my head off something just to say, like, oh, it's not simulation because I feel pain.
But yeah.
Do you know? Like, I don't know, mate. Like, I get it. Like, I get the theory. I get that people will be like, you know, you can't say what you said and then be like, well, actually, no, we actually are that 2%. But like, I don't know. I feel like it's a concept to actually, like, if you were to fully understand it and to fully accept it, I don't know how you would be okay with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's one of those things. That's like where you say
It's like in the Matrix as well. Or how do you escape from that? Can
Exactly.
you escape from that, or is it
Exactly.
just this is just it then?
And
Like-
then the thing is, like, as well, like, obviously, I know technology is advanced and stuff, but how advanced is it? So, say, like, let's talk about astronauts for a minute. So, the astronauts leave the Earth, and they are in outer space. So, like, how far, like, let's say the sim, you know, obviously the sim is created, but
Is there a border? Is what you're
do
saying?
you know
is
what I
it?
mean? Like,
Yeah.
how far, like, is there actually a thing where you can, like, say, go to the edge? Like, do you know, like,
Yeah, I know
again,
what you mean,
think
yeah.
of, like, Rick and Morty and the simulation episode. You know, they go to the edge and then they escape the sim.
Yeah.
Like, is there a point
Mm.
that you can get to? Like, again, this could sound waffle, and, like, I feel like I don't want to, this sounds a bit offensive, this might have to be cut out as well, but it's a kind of theory that flat earthers would believe.
Yeah. No. I know. Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way about flat earthers as you.
It's
now,
like, it's kind of just like, it's one of those things where you listen to it and you say, like, it makes sense, but at the same time,
it doesn't.
it doesn't, like.
Like, I can't imagine my life being controlled by someone else. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
that's the thing,
seem
that
right.
You think about how complex life is. You think about birth, growing up. You think about all the emotions you feel. Think about all the food there is to simulate that taste. Like, I get, like, technology is advanced and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, if that's the argument and they're saying, like, oh, higher ups from an alternate, like, whatever, universe, or, like, what do you call them? High intelligence life forms or whatever. You know, they're 10 times smarter than us and they can create all this kind of thing. I can't see how physical, like, how complex life is can just be, like, a simulation, like, not real.
Yeah.
Like, I get, like, some people are like, do you know, before there was, like, oh, religion isn't real, it's crazy. People are like, oh, evolution isn't real, like, it's just too far back. And then people believe this, like, fair enough, whatever you want to believe, that's fine, it's on you, it's your life. But I can't accept.
Yeah.
And again, that's my opinion. Like, if you believe in that, that's fine. But for me, I can't accept that it's real. I can understand it to a point, and I can say, right, that's a fair point, and, like, it would, you know, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, like,
Yeah.
if I was to sit down in a room with Elon Musk and him explain it to me, I would be like, okay, yeah, fair, you make a good point. But my personal belief,
Yeah.
do you know? And again, that's just the way I was raised, you know? Like, I feel like, again, like, not to take it into a religious thing, but, like, say, like, for example, the way I was raised, you know, you believe in God, all that kind of stuff, you die, you go to heaven, you know, or you go to hell, or whatever. And then some people will believe evolution, it's lights out, it's whatever. And then people will believe this, but when you're raised a certain way,
Yeah. That's the way that's your mindset. That's
exactly,
what.
like, and,
Yeah.
you know, for this to come out now, it's like,
Yeah. It's not. I mean, it's not a new thing, is it? But like, people have been talking about this for a long time. But, like, again, like you, I can understand it. Like, what if we are fucking 10,000, fucking 50,000 years into the future right now, being played by someone else? But like, that just kind of. I don't feel like I don't feel like I should really think about it too much.
I feel like it's one of those things where you overthink it, you go a bit mad.
Yeah.
Because you're starting to wonder then, like,
Well,
what is real?
Well, yeah. Well,
You think about Inception.
Yeah.
You know that film, yeah. So you're starting to question then, like, what is real? What can I do and what can't I do if it's,
yeah, exactly.
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, it makes you wonder, what's the point?
Yeah.
Because it's a simulation, like.
Yeah, it kind of loses. It makes life lose its fucking meaning, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
that's the thing. Like, it takes away, like, we say, like, constantly, like, you hear people say, life is precious, you know, you get one life, and that's true. Like, but this theory, regardless if it's true or not, I feel like it's one of those things where we go, yeah, maybe it's true, but I feel like for the sake of life, we just, do you know what I mean? We just leave it.
Yeah, it just makes you think like, oh, everything I go on to achieve in life, everything I do,
It's pointless.
is pointless. So if it's all just a simulation, what's the point?
Exactly, and it's a thing like, do you know?
It'd
like,
make you fucking horrid depressed if that was the
honestly,
way you
like,
think.
it's one of those things like, and again, like, I hope it's not one of those things as well. Like, again, I'm sorry, lads, we keep talking about religion. Again, it's just like one of those things, you know, or like people who believe in God and then people who believe in evolution.
Yeah.
They'll try and say like, oh, your beliefs are fake. You know, you shouldn't believe in that. It's wrong, and vice versa. It's the same with this. Do you know, like, if you believe that, let you believe that, but don't try and force it on people. Like, do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. Bang on. It's mad to think about. I think you've mentioned it. You kind of touched on it a little bit. I don't have it down as a theory here, but it's kind of something that just popped into my head there. What's your opinion on like the multiverse?
So the parallel
universes.
I think it's real.
Yeah.
I know this probably contradicts everything I've just said about simulation. All right, I might have to hold my hands up here and say, but
not really. No,
I feel like
it's hard to believe that we're the only ones. You know what I mean?
You know, yeah, like that kind of way. Like I could see. How do you even go about it?
Like, it brings you into that talk about like black holes out in space and everything, and them being like portals to other than like, it's very Rick and Morty.
That's all I can think of, and I feel like that sounds so stupid.
Yeah.
But all I can see is Rick and Morty doing that kind of thing. It's like,
so like parallel universe, so a different Earth, like a different Jack Revatch.
A different Jack Revatch could be a very weird thing.
Like you're doing something completely different with your life right now.
Imagine there's a Jack Revatch right now that is a ballerina.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that Jack Revatch right now.
Somewhere in the multiverse, there's a Jack Revatch
doing ballet. And that's
doing
fine.
ballet.
That's fair.
Let him do his thing.
Let him do his thing. It's right. There's an Aaron Kelly that's never touched football.
There you go. There's an Aaron Kelly who
never
started YouTube.
Mind, exactly. Aaron Kelly never started YouTube. There's a universe where YouTube doesn't exist.
There is. Yeah.
That's mad.
Fuck. There was an episode of Family Guy that was like that, I'm pretty sure, where Brian and Stewie went to like loads of different...
Oh, the multiverse
one, yeah. And it was mad.
I love the way that we're trying to, like, you know...
We're using Family
cartoons.
Guy and Rick and Morty as our fucking, you know, basis for what we're basing this shit off. Like...
multiverse is real because we saw it in the cartoon.
Rick and Morty said so, lads.
It's dumb. You're an idiot if you don't listen to Rick and Morty. You're stupid.
But, like, it's like, oh my god, I'm basing it off another fucking movie cartoon thing, but, like...
What is wrong with this?
It's like... It's simulation mixing with the multiverse as well.
Yeah.
Though. In like, have you seen Into the Spider-Verse?
No, actually. Oh, this. Yeah, actually, I have.
It's like there's a big glitch and all the different Spider-Men and women come into the one universe.
Yeah.
What if that happens and you're walking down the bloody street in Longford sometime or in Athlone or wherever, and you see Jack Revatch walking past you?
I am clarting him. I am not. He is being clarted
into the Shannon.
He is fucked. If I see him, he's getting roundhoused. Not having that. Two Jack Revatch. One Jack Revatch as it is enough.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone can agree. See a second one walking down the street. That's a bit terrifying, and you would understand. I feel like actually, if there was two Jack Revatches, let's just for aside, let's just take it away for a bit. There was two Jack Revatches. I feel like I would get arrested. I'm gonna put it out there. I feel like I would do.
One would start acting a prick, and the other one would get blamed for it.
Because it's a different. Technically, it's a different Greevatch. So like, Greevatch would go and he would see like, you know, I don't know. I don't want to say anything too controversial. He would just see like an old man and just, you know,
roundhouse him.
Yeah, kick his walking stick or something like that. And then I don't know.
It's a really fucked up thought. It's like the dream I had that I mentioned like 2 podcasts ago.
Yeah, you're watching
seeing yourself, like, that'd be, oh fuck, man, like a different Jack Revatch or a different Aaron Kelly from a like. There's a massive glitch, like half a second where everything just goes.
What would you do if you saw another you?
I think I would be shook to the core. I don't know what I'd do. I think I'd just. Would you go over and chat to him? Are you supposed to do that?
Yeah,
like, I'm not basing off Back to the Future or anything here. But
what I do is, I feel like you give a wave, see what happens.
Yeah.
If he comes closer to you, then you go closer to him. I would ask him to tell me everything.
Yeah.
And then I would Clark him. I get everything he knows about this other universe, and then Clark him.
Yeah. Jeez Christ! Wow, that got fucking deep.
That is.
It's a real. I don't think I believe in the simulation theory, but I do think it's definitely a topic I wanted to talk about on the podcast before, and it's very interesting.
Like you say, it's interesting because it would, it's something completely separate, like from everything like we've.
Yeah.
Like you say again, like obviously religion go to heaven, evolution lights off. Now we're saying it's all a simulation.
None of it matters.
And regardless, lights go off and someone else moves on.
And you're not at the wheel, essentially. Someone else is, yeah. Well, that's pretty fucked. So we're going to take a little break there, boys and girls. We'll be back after the break with 3 more amazing conspiracy theories.
So don't you go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit.
Well,
right.
Start.
What?
What?
Let's get it on. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you're still with us to the second half of this ShiteTalk
This is
episode.
the first time we've ever gone and said, right,
We're going on a break.
second half, yeah.
I mean, episode 10, we've got to, we've got to up the stakes here.
Like, and so I have to say as well, the setup since episode 1 has greatly improved, in case you're wondering.
Actually, I watched episode 1 recently, and there was none of the shit that's there behind us.
Episode 1 was...
I think it was filmed on your camera. No, I think we might have recorded audio with the phone, but it was just on like weights. Like, I mean, as it is now, but like, you know what I mean.
That's a throwback. Back to how we started it.
Yeah, I mean, we've come along with 50 subscribers now, boys. By the way, 50 more, and we're before the end of the year, and we're doing a fucking song.
Music video, mate.
I think we might just end up doing it anyway. Let's be honest.
Probably will. Like,
Spit some bars.
still gets to 100 subscribers.
Yeah, please.
Come on, do your bit.
So, yeah, we talked about Princess Diana, Anonymous, talked about simulation theory. Moving on to something very dark. I don't want to spend too long on this because it's dodge as fuck. But we're back talking about Anonymous, and this time we're talking about Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, Donald Trump has been in the news quite a lot recently. He's rarely out of it.
He is. Is he in it for his good leadership?
He's in it for the opposite.
Oh.
He's in it for literally not being a good president. Not dealing with the fucking riots and the whole racism thing over there.
I feel like that's a good headline.
Yeah, he's not dealing with it very well at all. So basically, apparently he was hiding in like the bunker of the White House.
I saw that. Oh, that I think
that's the first time in years that like
the
White House has been
much about what he is.
Yeah, a coward.
Literally, yeah. The thing is, like, they're talking about a leader. Like, you need someone to actually, step up and take control of this situation. We're not talking about like trying to, stop it, push it back. We're talking about someone who kind of says, okay, this is a big problem. The whole nation, the whole of America, is now in on this.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah.
You have countries from outside of the situation in on this. You're talking about how much money, how much awareness has been raised, and this man decided, in his infinite wisdom and leadership, I'm going to take an elevator down underground and hide.
Literally, like a little kid.
Literally.
Like,
I can't understand as well, like, how, like, this might be cut out, but Donald Trump, he's a businessman. Has he ever been involved in politics? I didn't hear anything of it.
No.
I'm going to say this, I'm not particularly surprised he's done as shit as job as he has done.
Yeah.
Because he's a businessman. And if something doesn't go wrong for you as a businessman, you don't fucking try and fix it. You try and get rid of it.
Because of how universally hated he seems to be, it's incredible that he got voted into office in the first place.
This is another thing. Could this be another conspiracy theory? That Donald Trump didn't legitimately win.
That he basically rigged it, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. Or like, say he bought votes.
Could have done, yeah.
He could have used names of people on graves who were passed.
Yeah. Absolutely, could have absolutely done that. But he's in even deeper shit now.
He is quite literally
I think
people want his head.
there was a picture recently that I thought was very telling. It was Barack Obama with like, literally, he's at the front. There's a picture of like him, and he's at the front of it, and the loyal U.S. citizens behind him. It was a really good, like, powerful picture, you know, and it kind of highlights the kind of president he was. Donald Trump, then, it was like him being surrounded by a lot of police and like military people, like protecting him essentially. So it's very telling, I think. But basically, Anonymous have come out with some more stuff that he has been doing, that he did allegedly, possibly, maybe do some dodgy stuff back in the day with Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, Epstein. There was a documentary about him recently. I haven't watched it.
No, I haven't. I saw it there.
I plan on watching it.
Yeah.
About, you know, how he obviously killed himself in prison, allegedly, possibly, maybe, probably not. I don't know. That was the story that was put out anyway, that he killed himself in prison.
Jesus.
And this theory basically goes that Trump essentially killed him, binned him off because similar to the Diana story, really, he knew too much about some dodgy stuff that was going on. I don't even know if I want to go into them because they're...
I will say, obviously we probably won't go into this, but have you seen some of the, like, to the testimonies and like some of the written...
Yeah, there's documents that Anonymous have leaked, that there was like 6 or 7 different occasions where Donald Trump essentially paid off families.
He kept them quiet.
Kept them quiet with millions and upon millions of dollars.
I can't see that. Imagine though, like, being told like 15 million to shut your mouth.
Yeah, after he's done that to your child.
Like, I can't, like, could you imagine how, like, angry...
I'm sorry, but no amount of money can compensate for that.
Like, okay, fair enough. I can imagine that obviously they were probably thinking, like, this guy has a lot of money. If we were to try and take this legally, he probably would win it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He'd probably...
I suppose,
even if the victim did win it, you're talking about, say, reviews, and I don't know what the proper... Do you know what I mean? Like, it would be constantly going back and back and back.
People
now,
have...
Obviously, again, like, what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that that's the reason why. I'm not saying that is what happened, but I'm just making... And I was sort of looking in that's not why they accepted the money, but it was probably something that was definitely in the back of their head. Like, obviously, if you're a parent and that's happened, you are I wouldn't be able to describe how angry I would be. Like, passionately angry. I would be. Like, I would want this man dead if that happened to, say, one of mine.
Yeah.
But I can imagine...
That was the mindset.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, not saying that it was, but I'm just...
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Have been in the back of their minds.
Yeah, well, I suppose you kind of touch on people with that amount of power, or with that amount of money, have a lot of power.
Yes, exactly.
And things rarely go against them. So it's not completely, you know, unbelievable to think that this family had that mindset of, right, well, if we take this legally, we might not win it because Donald Trump has so many contacts, has so much money. It's corrupt as fuck, but it could have easily happened. So I suppose, yeah, that makes sense. But this theory is basically suggesting that Epstein, while in prison, was threatening to grass, essentially, and bring Donald Trump down with him, basically. So Trump had him binned off and they made it look like a suicide. Wow. Now, a lot of people, there's a strong following of this theory that say that Epstein didn't kill himself, that it was arranged. It was an arranged killing, and they made it look like a suicide because, again, he knew too much. And also, Anonymous did leak these documents as well. Like these are documents you can go onto the internet and find. So, I'm not saying it's fact, but where are they pulling these documents from?
Yeah,
then? Do you know what I mean?
Like, it's a very strong case, like.
Absolutely.
And I think as well, you start looking at it like that. You say like, oh, someone was paid to kill him. That's another loose end. Like, even like, say this guy doesn't know the shit, but he knows that he was given money to kill this guy, or he was told to kill this guy.
Yeah.
That there has to be some sort of... Now, again, these people could be binned off. There could be loose ends tied up. Yeah. But I feel like you say, there's a very strong possibility that certain things could slip in lieu of like events that are happening now, and we're starting to see really what kind of president and what kind of man Donald Trump is.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But the documents went into a lot of detail of the names of the victims, what exactly went down. Very graphic, so obviously we ain't gonna read it. I don't even have it anyway. So yeah, they're on Twitter. You can go if you really do want to see the documents. They are on Twitter.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Absolutely. So like they're there. They go into great detail on who the victims were, what ages they were, what went down, and essentially how much money Donald Trump paid off. I'm talking for there was 6 or 7 cases in this document where there was like millions. I'm talking millions of dollars on every single case paid off.
We're talking about money that like
changes lives.
Yeah, money that literally changes lives.
Mm.
And like I said, like obviously, no amount of money can
compensate for that. Yeah.
But to even think that money is, I don't know, it's a crazy figure. Like to be throwing around that kind of money kind of shows what kind of man you're dealing with here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, $1 million for him is almost like
pocket money. Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, but that's the theory. I mean,
I think the thing about this theory is that it's one of those ones where, you know, there's definitely, like you said, a strong opinion that it's...
I think this is the one we have most evidence for.
Yeah, like if you really want to, lads, you could probably go online and you could...
I think Anonymous definitely had the documents up on Twitter. They might have had them deleted, I don't know.
100%, because I remember seeing them, I remember
they were there.
So, and if these documents, like people say, like if it comes online, you can't delete it forever. So there is stuff...
There is a version of it somewhere.
Exactly. If you want to look for it, it's there. And there's probably loads of evidence there that we just haven't, looked at.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those ones as well where it's like...
It makes you think, though, about Anonymous. What's the limit for them? Where do they stop here? Like, you know...
This is the thing, because, like... Do we... this is going to change completely topic, but do you see Anonymous as a force for good, a force for justice, or like a force for whatever the fuck they want?
Clout.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think there's probably an element of that, but I think for the most part they are...
I feel like social justice.
Social justice, yeah. I definitely do think there's an element of them wanting just a bit of clout, and obviously coming out of the woodwork after fucking... I think they gained like 3 million subscribers, or subscribers, followers, Twitter followers.
I think there's like as well, like, no, I don't know if there are actual Anonymous accounts on Twitter, but there are accounts on Twitter with the username Anonymous that are like saying, oh yeah, we'll get to 8 million. If we get 8 million followers, we'll start releasing some stuff. Like, no, again, Anonymous, like, we're not saying anything.
We could get exposed here.
We're 100% on your side.
Yeah.
Especially on the things that you have released. We are very much on your side. But we're saying that people can use your name to create accounts to be used for clout.
Yeah.
Do you know that kind of way?
They kind of have to keep a lid on that, don't they?
Yeah. Like, I feel like... And I imagine they are.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if they can hack and get these documents out...
Surely they can keep a lid on their own identity.
Surely lock an account or get an account removed or whatever. Like, it's not going to be that difficult. I think bottom line was we're going to say fair fucks for bringing light onto a situation that needed to have light brought on. Hopefully, thanks to you and thanks to everyone else, there will be some sort of justice. But I feel like they did the right thing, and hopefully, they will continue to do more good things.
Exactly right. We're going to leave it there because we're not going to...
That was heavy.
I think that's the heaviest one so far.
Yeah,
I think that's even like there's a lot in the Diana one, but I think that right. I don't have an awful lot down for this next one, but I think it's just going to be a general discussion. I'm going to check what the cameras are on while we're moving on. Right, so this one is just a general topic, mate. It's not real. It's a theory that has been going along for years and years and years, and there's even been more fuel added to the fire this year. We've just discussed it briefly in one of the previous podcasts, and it is the prospect of us not being the only beings in the universe. That there's something else out there. Aliens is what we're on about here, boys. Literally, all I have down here is Men in Black, UFO Navy video, and Area 51.
Okay. I'm going to start off by saying I don't believe we're alone. I think it's one of those things where if you look, especially the Navy video that came out, I feel like you kind of have to slowly accept. Like, maybe you don't accept it outright, maybe you don't think this, or maybe you don't think that, but I feel like slowly but surely you kind of have to understand that, okay, we are surely not the only ones here. Like, this, if you think about how big, like, people say all the time, how big the galaxy is. Like, we can't, like, there's no way, the amount of planets,
Think about the odds of us being the only ones
it's
alone.
surely like point, like,
Yeah, 0, 0,
Yeah.
fucking... Yeah, it's...
point.
0.000.
Not even zeros, just point.
But yeah, I absolutely agree with you. But there's so much in this topic. Obviously, even in the three things I mentioned, Men in Black, there's been lots of videos that have come out of them over the years.
Videos are fucking freaky.
They're weird. Have you seen? I think one of the most famous ones has got to be that one where there's the boys that come into the fucking hotel.
Yes, that's the one I saw, and it is fucking weird, man.
Featureless face, tall, 7 foot,
Did
fucking.
not like that at all.
I hope they don't turn up at our fucking front gate.
Well,
now.
this is the thing, man.
Allegedly, possibly, maybe. We're not, you know.
Very much underlined this one.
Yeah, we're not, you know, we don't want to get killed.
Yeah,
but yeah, that Navy video that came out recently, basically legitimizing a UFO.
pretty damn clear. Like, even the reactions.
Yeah, seemed fairly legit. Like
It's not like they just found a fighter pilot.
Yeah.
Just flying around and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
How fast is that going? Like, you know, it's. I don't know, man. I feel like it's too.
Do you reckon the government know more than they're letting on?
Facts.
When it comes to aliens?
100%. I fully believe that, like, people like to keep you in a bubble, which is fine. I can understand the logic behind that, because sometimes, like I said, ignorance is bliss. But if you want to know, I feel like you should be allowed to know. Like, again, what I've just said is very much just, you know, it's not fact. But I feel like, you know, there's a lot of things that don't add up. If that makes sense. Like, you look to America, for instance, like, there's like things like crash sites and like, oh, this was just something else. You know, we're never really given a full picture, I don't think, on proper.
Yeah. They definitely keep us out of the loop. But do you think that's to do with like say the government came out and just said, right, folks, Area 51, we're actually keeping some fucking aliens in there. Do you think that would be people would freak? People would fucking freak, and we'd probably be getting something similar to what we're getting now over in the US with like fucking
free the aliens.
Literally, like, I think genuinely,
I say that
people would panic. People would panic and lose their shit. So, do you think, on that sense, it's right that they are keeping this down, or are they slowly, like with that Navy video, is that their way of slowly starting to feed us little nuggets of information here, so that when the big revelation does come, that boys, we've been, you know, studying aliens in Area 51, that it won't be as big a shock. Like, they're kind of softening the blow by feeding us little bits and pieces here and there, and that Navy video being probably the biggest nugget of information we've gotten so far. Do you think that's their mindset?
I feel like I said, like, in some cases ignorance is bliss, and that they probably are aware, like you said, that especially after that whole Area 51 Naruto thing,
the raid of Area 51.
Yeah, like, they know that if they were to announce that now, people would storm. They probably would fucking be ruined. But no, they definitely would. I think, though, I will say this, is that I believe that if, like, obviously you're saying that if they're keeping aliens captive or whatever, I feel like they can't have done too much wrong, because I feel like, now again, this could be a bit of a wild statement, but I feel like if we were doing something bad to, say, an alien, or we had captured aliens against our will or whatever, I feel like we would have maybe slightly been attacked.
Maybe slightly died.
Yeah, maybe just a tiny bit, a few unusual instances would have occurred.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that they're keeping like
Oh, no,
live
no,
aliens
no,
captive,
yeah,
but maybe
yeah.
they've found like
It's
body parts or
yeah,
something,
or it's a trade, like, or
yeah,
it's
parts of UFOs. Like
communications.
maybe they're just keeping stuff in there that need to be examined. But what if like aliens have taken a look at Earth and gone, do you know what? There's actually not that much going on down there.
Do you know what, mate? I fully agree with you on that.
Because maybe they're like a far higher level of intelligence than us.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's like when you see a fucking. This is gonna sound so stupid. It's like when you see a bug, right? We're obviously bigger than them. They're at their own thing. We're gonna go. You know what?
Just let him do his thing. Yeah.
You know, there's no point ruining their life. They are already miles behind us.
Yeah.
Let's leave them at it. Like, I feel like if it realistically, I feel like if an alien was to come now, let's just say an alien lands right this second in Earth, it's probably going to go around and think, it's a bit shit.
Yeah, it's like, this is like, I've gone back fucking millions of years.
This is essentially their medieval times.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, we are... It's funny thing as well, like, we were, like, do you remember back in the day, like, people were saying, like, 1999, probably in 2020, we'll have, like, you know, flying cars,
yeah.
cities on the fucking moon and stuff. Realistically, how far off are we from
fucking
that?
Hundreds of years, probably.
So far off that, like, and to think there's another species out there that are probably
not only mastered that, but like built on it as well.
And not only that, but built multiple.
Yeah,
and it probably advancing that already. Like,
that kind of what you said there kind of resonated with me because it reminds me of like the pyramids.
Yeah,
and people question how they were built back in the day, and a lot of people are led to believe that they were built by aliens. Because there's no way humans could have done that.
I'm going to say this now. There's no fuck. Have you seen, like, if you've actually seen, like, the pyramids, like, you get a picture, like, and it looks, oh, it's fucking tiny. If you actually walk right up to the pyramid, the blocks are probably about half that wall,
yeah,
and literally half down again.
Yeah.
There's no, I don't care what people say, like, oh, they had a good pulley system.
Yeah.
You know, or we used a bunch of sticks and we lifted it up about 20 men. Fuck that, man. There's no way that size of block was put up by...
How many men would you need to carry that?
We're talking about a nation.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Yeah.
And even at that, how are you going to find something that's strong enough?
If you had humans starting building that back in the day, they'd probably still be going.
Yeah. there's no fucking way. Like, I don't know. Maybe we're, you know... We're trying to big it, but like I feel like I assume you agree as well.
Yeah.
There's no way, mate.
Not a lot, especially. I think even these days people would struggle a little bit, even with the technology and equipment we have now.
Yeah, again, talk about the size of the brick you're using.
Yeah, it's
What crane is carrying?
Nobody builds with that size of brick anymore. Like, so for me, I think aliens definitely have visited Earth and definitely did build the fucking pyramids.
And look, do you know what?
And think of how long ago that was. Think of how technologically advanced they are as a species now.
Oh, stop!
Like they are light years ahead of us. If that's
literally light years.
I love how it's gone from we're not even questioning if they're real at this point. It's literally we're saying it's real. Not only is it real, they're fucking so much better than us.
Play the clip at the start, like, oh, this is not fact. This is not. Aliens are real. There's no way that humans built these pyramids.
It's no longer allegedly, possibly, maybe.
You know what, lads, we are like, again, like, we'll step it back. We'll step it back a bit. These are just our opinions, but I'd say you and me strongly are of the opinion. So we're not saying that it's true and we've been there, because we haven't. Unless Kelly's telling me something he knows that I don't. He just raised his eyebrow at the camera. That's a bit concerning. But no, I feel like definitely. I feel like in my opinion, and I assume yours as well, they do exist. And I don't feel like I have a bigger problem as I do. Like, I don't have a problem with it as much as other people do.
Yeah.
Other people probably are there like...
shitting themselves.
Yeah, like people come like, oh, they're going to fucking come down and invade. Man, why? What's the point? You think about it, like, if they have their own planet with their own shit, why would they...
Probably with better resources, as we said, better fucking...
And think about, again, how many planets are out there with, like, twice the resources and less of the combat. There's no... You think about, like, I don't know, probably... I feel like there's some resource on, like, the moon or Mars or something like that. that they probably would want. Again, I'm sorry, I'm being a bit stupid saying that because I don't actually know. But let's just say, for argument's sake, there's something on the moon that is like a natural resource to them.
Yeah.
Why are they going to come, realistically, to Earth to get into a conflict situation with us if they can just go to the moon, bish bash bosh, get their shit and fuck off home? You're talking about maybe like one spaceship versus like sending a fucking fleet to wipe us out.
Yeah.
What is the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
Unless one day they just come down and see Trump and all them pricks and just get
But if he wants to
pissed
do
off.
that,
And
then yeah. Well,
they'd be well within their right to do
Yeah,
that, I
that
think.
would-
So, I'm going to ask one more question on the whole aliens thing. The Men in Black then, right?
Okay.
What do you think is the crack with them? Like, I mean,
A force-
who are they? Do they exist? I mean, we've seen lots of videos.
Yeah, I believe they exist. I believe it makes sense that they exist.
Are they government employed people?
I don't
Or are they
know,
aliens
mate.
themselves?
I don't know. That's the thing. You think about it and you say, like, this might sound stupid, but like, it would make sense if they were. Because if it was a thing like, say, the government and aliens have made contact, it would make sense that the government would allow them to say, like, you know, keep the public ignorant
Yeah.
of their existence.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't know. And it's one of those things where the Men in Black films are made out to be class, but when you see the clip of it in real life, you're kind of like, that's
It's creepy as fuck.
It's creepy as fuck, mate. Like, imagine if you were in your room and
You look out your window, it's just there.
yeah, and they're just standing there. You look away from your window, and next thing they're at your fucking door, like your bedroom door.
Fuck that, bro.
And they don't, like, there's no fucking face, there's no expression.
Yeah.
They just sit you down to talk.
Yeah.
I 100% would not be able for that. I couldn't imagine what that's like. That's terrifying.
People have given like lots of accounts of them as well. Like it's not even like a lot of people have said, yeah, I had an encounter with the Men in Black. This is what they told me. They said if you say what you've seen, and they might not have seen much. They might have just got a little glimpse of something in the sky, like a UFO or something.
Yeah.
Or they could have seen a bit of fucking
Debris.
debris. That's what I mean. And that might have been all they've seen. And these boys turn up and they're like, right, if you say a fucking word to anyone, I will kill you and your family.
That's fucked, man. Oh,
But like, are they aliens who try to blend in as people?
That's the other thing as
Maybe
well.
I've just watched too many fucking Marvel movies and the Skrulls. Literally, Captain Marvel, they come in, yeah, and they're like, you don't know who's real and who's not. Like
It's gone.
so.
It's gone.
I mean, yeah, like literally at the end of the last fucking Spider-Man movie, Nick Fury was in it, and at the end of it, he turned out he wasn't actually in it. He was just a Skrull. He was an alien. That you literally the post-credit scene was him like morphing back into this fucking alien thing. Like, what if that's a thing? What if that's a real thing?
Jesus.
You
I
know,
don't know, mate.
It's
I
so
don't know.
fucked.
I
It's
don't
so.
know.
It's interesting
crazy.
at the same time, though.
Oh, it is 100%.
And as you say, it does. The thought of aliens existing doesn't scare me too much. If anything, it excites me a little bit.
Yeah, but like, you know, it would be interesting, like, because, like I said, I highly doubt that there's any sort of aggression.
Yeah.
Realistically, like, you're talking about an advanced life form. They probably aren't too aggressive. If you're talking like advanced,
Yeah.
like,
They're probably sound enough.
yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, they're actually probably just like, do you want to know some stuff? Here you go.
Yeah. Anyway, time will tell. We move on to our final theory down of the pod. It has gone on for quite a while at this point. And it's something that's hot topic.
At the minute.
Yeah.
Actually, not even at the minute. It's almost all the time.
It's been going on for years at this point.
It's been too long, realistically.
To be fair, at this point, like there's been recently there was a slight. Would you even call it a revelation? Basically, we're talking about Madeleine McCann. For those of you who don't know, basically the 3-year-old English girl that went missing when her family or her parents went to they're all on holiday in the Algarve in Portugal back in 2003.
I can't admit, it's been so
Was it something around that? It was the early noughties anyway, and basically the parents were gone and they came back. Maddie was gone with the two youngest siblings, pair of twins, still asleep in the cot. She's completely disappeared, no trace, and this case has been going on since then, and nothing has really changed at all. But recently there was a a German man. I don't know his name. Again, I should really start getting names so we seem more fucking, professional and on the game.
We've done notes and everything.
This is like as prepared as we've been for a podcast.
This is probably the most prepared podcast in the shed you will ever see.
But essentially, this fella has been linked to the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. He was in the area apparently that night, and he is currently in prison. Wow, he's currently in prison for being a paedophile, essentially. So basically, what people are suggesting is that fucking must be him then.
It must be.
But I mean, that's the only thing we have on it.
Have you seen the evidence though that there's trying to pin that the van he drove or something like that? Yeah, and then the phone call in the same area and stuff like that. I feel like there is evidence to suggest that it was him, but
especially the fact that he's not currently in prison for being a paedophile. Like,
yeah, it ties very well, but I don't know, mate. I don't know. The thing about this Madeleine McCann situation is that I feel like there's always someone new. Yeah, that was never put up before. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like
they're coming out with new people a lot.
Like, literally, like back in the day, it was like, oh, it could be this guy, and then it wasn't this guy, and then people started saying, oh, maybe the parents did it, and then that went a bit cold. Now we got this guy, and it's the same thing again. You know, it's like, I don't want to say that it's like getting your hopes up just to be let down. Yeah, but like,
it's not too far wrong off that, really, is it?
Yeah, but like, what I just don't get is like how does it take this long if this man had such a strong connection to this, and that's what they're saying. Like, all this evidence links this to this to this to this. Now, maybe I don't know enough about law. I don't know enough about detective work. But if he is such a strong suspect, how has it taken this long? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Now, again, like I said, now that is just my opinion, boys. Again, on if that's.
I think at this point, though, it's like.
It just needs closure.
They need the closure. But when a crime goes on, when an investigation goes on for this long, I hate to say it, but it kind of does suggest that it's a little bit, that the case is a little bit dead in the water, in the sense that you may never find what actually happened. Yeah. Now, I don't want to be disrespectful in any way. That's not the tone at all. But have you heard the theories about the parents?
Yes.
Essentially,
so there was a lot of, wasn't it? Like, there was a lot of blood and
essentially the theory is that the parents, because they wanted to have their night out essentially and wanted to be undisturbed, they gave their 3 children, Madeleine and her 2 younger siblings who are twins, sleeping pills, and the theory goes that they overdosed on Madeleine and she died, and this is all just one big cover up. Now, I'm sure that's absolutely horrible for them to hear, but
I feel like
I did hear a thing that the two, like, during all the commotion with like the mother screaming after they come back from the night out and realise that their daughter is gone. This is not a theory, this is fact, this next bit. The 2-year-old younger siblings didn't wake up during the commotion with the police coming in, everyone coming in and out of the apartment.
Right.
So they didn't wake up. Now, that tells me that they were under some form of drug.
I feel like that's a very good point. I feel like you think about it.
That's like, dodgy.
You think about a younger child, like a baby, for instance.
They wake up like that.
Yeah, any sort of noise. Like, they're literally telling you, like, I feel like with babies as well, there's another thing that goes around that you have to speak in a certain tone of voice almost.
Yeah.
To not wake them.
Because their hearing will be that, like, sensitive, yeah.
So, I know, we're not saying that these are, like, babies, obviously, we are aware of their age at the time, but, like you say, mate, it's you think about the police, the commotion. You think, how on earth?
The mother wailing and screaming. Apparently,
how do you say this? Like,
yeah, like during all that commotion, neither one of them woke up, and that for me is dodgy. Now, I don't want to say that is fact at all, because it certainly isn't.
Like you say, we don't know.
Allegedly, possibly, maybe, as I've been saying.
That's got to be the catchphrase or the title.
The title of this
allegedly,
podcast.
Possibly, maybe.
The podcast. We change it from ShiteTalk to just allegedly, possibly, maybe. But, yeah, very dodgy. I don't... It's hard to know what happened. I think one thing that, I mean, obviously isn't confirmed, but you can have a fair stab at the dark at, is that she's probably gone at this point. Like she probably is.
I feel like it's been. I feel like the likelihood of it, like you look at everything, like all the evidence.
Yeah.
I can't see.
If she was like taken, she's got to have been killed fairly soon after she was taken. Think about it, like, you know, I just don't see how a case like this, that's so big and so, even the nature of the crime, how it hasn't been solved yet. It's mind-boggling. Have you seen the documentary? Actually, it's on Netflix. I haven't seen it actually.
I don't think I have.
It's like 8 episodes long. I've heard it's a bit like, it doesn't need to be 8 episodes long, but apparently it's worth a decent old watch. But I think either way, whether the fucking parents did it or not, and I'm obviously not saying they did, but whether they did it or not, you gotta chalk a lot of the situation up to their like neglect and thoughtlessness.
100%. Like at the end of the day,
she was 3 years old, bro. Like she was the oldest there. She was 3.
And the thing about it is as well, like you're talking about the era they went to. I think it came out. It's known
for kidnappings and
stuff like that. You're talking about going down. Like I don't care. Like even if you're in the same resort, you're in the bar. It doesn't matter. Like, I don't even care if you say, "Oh, but I was sitting watching the window. I saw everything." Don't matter, mate. Like, it does not fucking matter. Like as a parent, you've accepted responsibility. Like that child is not old enough to look after themselves. Their life is in your hands.
Well, that's it. Yeah, when you said it yourself, when you accept the role of being a parent, number fucking one responsibility for you is to ensure the safety of your own. Forget about your fucking self for a while.
Yeah.
And just, like, you have decided, you've made the conscious decision to have these children. The first thing you do, the only priority you should have is keeping them fucking safe. Like, I can't imagine that the thought process, right, we're going to leave 3 kids, like 3 and 2 2-year-olds, in a fucking apartment in the Algarve by themselves. Like, bro, how do you even come? Do you know what I mean? I can't comprehend the mindset there.
The thing is like you say, like when you have a child, you almost put your life second.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
yeah,
it's one of those things that, and the thing is, like, if you're that desperate to go and have a drink, or to go and meet someone, bring them to the fucking apartment.
Yeah.
Buy a couple of cans.
Yeah.
It might not be fucking out by the pool, open sky, but that don't fucking matter, mate. The point of it is that, like you say, there's not just one as well. There's 3. There's 3.
And no older than 3 years old. Think about that. Like, even if they're like 6, you still wouldn't go, mate. Even if they're 10, you wouldn't go.
Nah, man, that's crazy. And the thing is as well, if you want to go to Portugal or wherever, and you want to have a drink, and you want to enjoy the holiday, let the kids go to someone. Give them to like. Don't bring them with you, is what I'm saying. Like.
Yeah. If you want to go for a basic, I know what you mean. If you want to go and fully enjoy it yourself, then leave them with a relative, leave them with a grandparent.
Don't bring them with you, and then leave them in a hotel or an apartment or whatever. Like, the thing about this is like,
it's like you're just asking for someone to come and fucking,
literally, you're literally almost opening the door. And the thing about some of these places as well is like they have literally spotters for this kind of thing, so they watch and they will pick out like areas or people vulnerable to that kind of shit. The second that 2 adults walk out of an apartment with only like two 2-year-olds and a 3-year-old, I'm not saying that they plan to kidnap them, but you're talking about burglary for it. Let's just say different situation hypothetically. Let's say these people are trying to burgle.
That's something that happens a lot on holidays as well.
That's
those
what I mean.
Burglaries, yeah.
So you're talking about there's 3 children in there. None of them are going to stop there. If they go in, they can get in, grab shit, and get out. So let's say in this instance that Madeline was taken, it's literally get in, get out.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know, mate. I can't grasp the thought. It is probably like, even if we say like that the thing is true and they give them sleeping pills, to even have the idea and the notion to think that's acceptable. You're talking about giving sleeping pills to a 3-year-old and a 2-year-olds. Pills, mate.
Yeah.
To children under 5.
The selfishness is
It is outrageous. I cannot accept that.
That's why you gotta ask yourself when you're having kids, am I fucking ready for this?
Yeah, you can't just give them a sleeping pill.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where you have to accept that they're not always going to go to sleep when you want them to go to sleep. You're going to have to accept that you can't do everything that you want to do.
Right, so that's pretty much it. We're not going to go on for too much longer because we've gone on for so long already. But yeah, this was a fairly fucking deep episode, man.
It was. We delved into parts that I don't think we ever thought we'd delve into on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, we hope you enjoyed it anyway. I certainly enjoyed it. It's a different tone.
It definitely was good. It was interesting to see, different opinions than your own on.
Yeah,
on
exactly. Yeah,
things.
but yeah, like obviously this podcast is somewhere where we come to have a laugh and that, and usually that is the case. But sometimes we want to talk about something that's a little bit, serious. Yeah.
He says that while saying it in that voice.
Serious. But yeah, if you want to see a part 2, because obviously just literally there are so many conspiracy theories out in the world.
We've only just scratched the surface.
We have scratched the surface. I've literally done 5 today. There's literally just so many more out there that we can talk about. So if you would like to see a sequel, drop a like. If we get 10 likes, we'll do a sequel, because I think we asked for 25 likes last time. That was never going to happen, realistically. Also, subscribe if you're new.
Yes, everyone, remember, if you weren't here last time, 100 subscribers on the ShiteTalk podcast to see a music video by myself and Kelly. Not just a music video, but we are going to...
An original song!
Exactly. We are going to write a song. We are going to get a beat. We are going to produce it. Everything will be done homemade to a quality that is...
sub-mediocre, probably. Let's be honest.
Damn right. And that is the level we're going for. If you want to see that, and you want to see me and Kelly on that level... by all means, subscribe to the Shite Talk right now. Right this second. No pissing about. Do it right now. Get it done before the end of the year. Lockdown restrictions are being loosened. It can happen, ladies and gentlemen.
We can do this!
It can happen. Get it done. Subscribe if you are new.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, subscribe if you are new, and we will catch you later.